Hey guys, welcome back to Mad About Skin. In today's video, we are talking Paulas Choice. I have been inundated with questions, concerns and worries from you guys over the past couple of days since it was announced that Paulas Choice was actually being bought out by the multinational corporation Unilever. A lot of people want to know what that means for the brand, how I think it will alter the product, the formulations, the price, and some of the things that people love and gravitate towards Paulas Choice for. Well, I'm going to cover it all in this video, and with a lot of things, it's a bit more complex than everything will just be bad. I think there's some positives and some negatives that can be taken from this, so let's explore in a little bit more detail and talk all things Paulas Choice. Now, Paulas Choice isn't actually a brand I gravitate towards a whole lot when it comes to my own skincare routine. I covered my thoughts and feelings in a recent video, which I'm going to leave a link to up there if you do want to check that out. I find the price point, particularly here in Europe, where it is a little bit more bougie, luxury and expensive than it is in North America, a little bit off-putting, and I find you can get the same formulations or very similar formulations for a cheaper price point with some other brands. Similarly, I find that they have a whole array of different products which are a little bit baffling. They have like 15 or 16 different cleansers, and there's not a whole host of difference between each of them. The same goes for their SPFs, their moisturizers, and it can get a little bit confusing, and so when I'm shopping with them, I just find the whole experience a bit of a turn off, and I tend to then look for other brands. However, they are a massive brand and one of the biggest growing skincare brands on the market, so clearly there's a whole host of people that love the brand, love the products, and reach for them time and time again. We recently found out that they are going to be bought out for, it's alleged, $2 billion, which is a whole lot of money when it comes to skincare brands, by Unilever. Unilever are a conglomerate. They own lots of different brands, including Ben & Jerry's ice cream, Dove, and loads of other brands which sit beneath them. We recently saw the same thing happen to The Ordinary when they were bought out by Estee Lauder, and even though that only happened a few months ago, we've already started to see some changes, and they've not all been for the best. Let's talk first about what this means for Paulas Choice. Well, Unilever have said that the reason they purchased Paulas Choice is because they're a fast-growing brand, which is undeniable in terms of their popularity here on YouTube, Instagram. Celebrities are constantly promoting them, and you honestly can't watch a YouTube video without getting a Paulas Choice advert. They're definitely on the up and growing as a brand. Unilever said they wanted to get into that mid to high market segment, which very much is where Paulas Choice sit. They're certainly not that drugstore and affordable price point, but they do have a more mid to high market price. They also wanted to look at brands which are really self-sufficient online. Most of the Paulas Choice sales are done through their website, which is something that's becoming much more popular and what a lot of big brands are looking for when it comes to those indie brands. Now, this takeover doesn't actually complete until the third quarter of this year, so sort of autumn this year. And whilst Unilever have said they're not going to make wholesale changes from the start with the brand, we know that this is usually an empty promise. We saw this when Estee Lauder took over Deciem. They started to make changes reasonably quickly. And, you know, if you've spent $2 billion on a brand, you're not going to sit there and let it coast and see how it goes. You want to get your hands onto it and amend it and change it from the get-go. So we should see some changes happen in sort of autumn and winter this year. Not all changes are bad, so I'm going to split them up into the good and the bad, the positives and the negatives. And in the spirit of positivity, let's start with the good. I think as a result of this takeover, we'll start to see a lot more Paulas Choice products in physical stores. Whilst they praise Paulas Choice having a really good online web presence, you know, a lot of Unilever brands are sold in Sephora, they're sold in Boots here in the UK, and some of the bigger drugstores. So I can absolutely see Paulas Choice become more accessible in physical stores, particularly here in the UK, where I don't, to my knowledge, think they're sold in any physical locations. I believe there's a small range available in North America at Sephora, but that will expand and we should see a lot more stores stocking the Paulas Choice range. If you love the brand, then that's going to be amazing because it'll be easier for you to get your hands on. If you want that instant fix without waiting for delivery, you can pop to your drugstore and purchase the product. I don't think there's going to be a whole suite of pricing increases. We saw some price creep when it came to The Ordinary, Deciem brands when they were taken over by Estee Lauder. I don't think we'll see that with Paulas Choice because, let's be honest, the price point is already ruinously expensive for who they're pitching at and for the formulations they're delivering. I don't think there's much scope to tweak the pricing upwards further, so I wouldn't expect this to be a wholesale increase in the price like you often see with a lot of brands. Finally, when it comes to the positives, I don't think many big multinational successful corporations like Unilever will put up with the plethora of products which Paula's Choice offer. The more products you offer, the higher costs that come associated with them, and it's just a confusing array of products sitting beneath the Paula's Choice brand. I think this will be streamlined and they'll retire some of the less popular products from the catalogue. And whilst I would normally say that's a bad thing because, nobody wants to lose one of their holy grails from sale, I do think when it comes to Paula's Choice, there is a lot of scope to remove some of the smaller, more niche products that not a whole host of people are going to miss, or where there's a very equivalent product already available from Paula's Choice. So I think streamlining the whole range will be a positive thing for us, the consumer. Now let's talk about the negatives. Lots of people have called out, the loss of the Paula's Choice values. Well, actually, Paula's Choice, Paula herself sold the brand quite a few years ago to another corporation, which did away with a lot of the founding ethos. Paula's Choice, when it was founded, wanted to create affordable, well, that went out the window, easy to understand, again, not the most easiest range of products at the moment, so that's also been removed. And also, they wanted to do away with certain types of products, such as eye creams and things that Paula herself didn't feel they had value. Well, they've had eye creams in their collection for years, and so a lot of the original founding values have been removed as per a previous takeover, so I don't think there's anything really left to strip back when it comes to the Unilever purchase of Paula's Choice. The one thing that can be a bit concerning is the cruelty-free status. Unilever as a corporation test a number of products on animals themselves. They also access territories which require animal testing, such as China. So they are definitely not a cruelty-free organisation. They say that they allow brands which sit beneath the parent company to have their own take on animal testing, and Paula's Choice is a cruelty-free brand, so I expect that to remain the same. However, it does raise a few ethical considerations that if you are, a die-hard cruelty-free advocate, and that's the primary reason for purchasing a product, you might not want to shop at Paula's Choice because of course the profits from sales of the Paula's Choice products will feed into Unilever as the parent company, which obviously isn't a cruelty free. So ultimately you are funding a cruelty, an animal testing organisation. You have to kind of work it out for yourself of whether that matters to you as an individual when you purchase a product, but I think it's disappointing and something which a lot of people will feel a little bit let down by. Also, when it comes to the negative, I imagine that there'll be some review of products which we said might see streamlined, but also they might introduce some more popular products. You don't see a lot of peel-off masks, things like that with Paula's Choice, because let's be honest, they don't add a whole lot of value, yet people love to use them in their skincare routine and they're super popular. So I think we'll see a launch of some less than effective products, such as the peel-off masks. Makeup wipes are another great example. Everyone loves them. How effective they are, I think, is open for negotiation, but these will be things which will appear most likely in the Paula's Choice range, and time will tell whether they do them properly or whether it's just the same as all the other types of product like that on the market. For me, I think only time will tell what actually happens with Paula's Choice. If you look back to the original founding values of Paula herself, most of those have been lost in subsequent acquisitions before we got to this point. So I don't think we're losing a whole host of the core values of the original founder, because I think those were lost in translation many years ago. In terms of how it will change from what we know in recent history of Paula's Choice, sometimes things can change for a positive, and I look forward to seeing a more streamlined and slimmed down product selection, making it easier for us, the consumer, to choose. But of course, with that comes the risk that they might retire some of the more popular products or one of your guys' holy grails. So that's something we'll have to look out for. I can't see a whole host of price increases, and hopefully distribution will be a little bit easier, particularly here in Europe and the UK, where it can still be a little bit hard to get your hands on Paula's Choice products. I think the biggest letdown is going to be that cruelty-free implications of the brand teaming up or being bought out by Unilever. Unilever have dragged their heels for years when it comes to animal testing, and were one of the stalwarts of supporting animal testing and really lobbying for it to continue. So I think this is going to leave a little bit of a sour taste in a lot of people's mouth. And whilst I don't personally reach for Paula's Choice day in, day out, it isn't going to be a brand that I'm going to be gravitating towards anytime soon, because again, this just reinforces my overall perception of the brand. I always say skincare is unique, and always use what works for your budget, your skin, and your own ethical standpoint. So if you love Paula's Choice and you want to continue to use them, absolutely, I I nowhere am I saying to stop using Paulas Choice. I think it's going to be a wait and see scenario, so let's see what happens to the brand. If you do feel a little bit let down and you want to explore some other options, I actually did a recent video on some good dupes for Paulas Choice products, which I'm going to leave a link to up there. So check that out if you've already made your mind up and you do want to look for alternatives to the core Paulas Choice offering. That video will have plenty for you to choose from. I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings, so sound off in the comments below. Is this a buyout or a total sellout? Sound off and let me know your thoughts and feelings. And wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.